Okay, so love that is based on conditions. This is something that we have all been taught. Now, I can't really say that for some of these kids that are growing up with these parents that are conscious. This doesn't apply to you. Your parents are teaching you well. So, but for those of us, for the majority of us that are, in our kind of like late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and up, maybe some youth, I'm not sure, could be because, there's still a whole lot of people that have not fully, have waken up or been aware to the world around us and just like how, some of the things that we've been taught in life may have not been fully correct. And that's okay. Because when something is not taught to you correctly, then it's time to correct it so that you can be aware and that you can know. And that's the beauty of life, and that's the beauty of growth. If we want to grow and evolve, then, we have to be at a mature level to understand like, hey, it may be some things that I was told and taught that may not be the case. And I got to be okay with that. I got to be okay with change. And that is something that I feel like the universe is testing all of us in, is change. We have to change. We have to evolve. We can't keep going in the same cycle. Can't keep doing the same shit. Just not going to work anymore. So let's talk about love based on conditions. So for me, I feel that since the establishment of the Roman Catholic Church and the establishment of religious, like different religious sects that are placed into the world, are all monotheistic. And with these monotheistic groups, their God tells you that he is a jealous God. Okay. If you are the only God, then what are you jealous about? Number one. Somebody tell me about that. If you are the only God, then why are you jealous? Why would you even need to make a statement if you're the only God? You wouldn't even, if you're God, why would you even have any kind of jealousy at all? That makes no sense. So obviously this God must not be a full God, and it cannot be a God that's omnipotent. It doesn't make any sense, because a omnipotent being would not be jealous of you or any other God. For what? Doesn't make any sense. And so that is a very human characteristic for me that seems like was created by a bunch of human males, because only a human would say some shit like that, honestly. And then, this God has all these conditions that you have to follow. Some people call them commandments, some people call them whatever. But you have all these rules and regulations, because if you don't abide by this, then instead of this God loving you, then he will damn you to a place called hell. Hey, but P.S. God loves you though. No, absolutely not. This person sounds like the devil to me. This person sounds like what the devil would be to me. It really does. This sounds like more of an adversary than anything that's loving, and this is a very contradicting motherfucker, if you ask me. So, because we are taught love through religious beliefs, that also spills into our human morals and how we are supposed to, be with each other and things like that. And then when we grow up, some of us have grown up in a lot of fucked up homes that, we can all admit to that. Yeah, some of us growing up in some fucked up homes. Some of us didn't grow up in fucked up homes. So kudos to you, lucky you. But some of us didn't have that luxury. Okay, and so for those of us that didn't have that luxury, we were taught love a different way. Okay, I can say that growing up, I really didn't understand what love was. I had to. It took me until the age of 29, 30, to be in my early 30s, okay, to understand what real love is, because I did not know. And what I thought was love was actually a false light of it. It wasn't real unconditional love, because love has freedom in it. Love is not jealous at all. It can't be. Love can't be jealous. Doesn't make any sense. And love is free. It brings you, freedom. That's real love. So the love I was taught was not that. It was based on a lot of conditions. It was very abusive, physically and mentally. It wasn't good, and because of that, I didn't know what real love looked like. So then, as I, was, dating, and getting into relationships, it was all these conditions, and these, oh my goodness, sorry. And these conditions were not healthy. There's so many people that are in like toxic relationships because they're like, oh, well, I love this person, or in it, but that's only loving halfway. That's not loving fully, because when you love unconditionally, then that other part of it is having self-love. Self-love is a major part of understanding unconditional love. Because if you have no self-love, then you will let anyone talk to you any kind of way. You'll keep around negative people. You'll keep being in toxic relationships. You keep being around toxic people. And that's just not healthy at all. And we wonder why we have all these issues and problems. It's because we need to be retaught some things, especially when it comes to love, especially when it comes to that, because people got love twisted. They really do. Like, love is not about someone, being able to take their anger out on you or abuse you. That's not love at all. That is not love at all. I remember, getting whooped as a kid, what people call it like getting spanked stuff, but I'll get whooped with anything, belt, switch, whatever. And it's like, why am I getting beaten for it? And the response is, oh, well, because I do it because I love you, and then I'll get a fucking Bible quote on that fucking quote where it talks about something about I can't remember what it says, but it almost sounds like it says, like, it gives you the okay to fucking beat your kid, basically. I can't remember what that Bible verse is, but if I find it, I would definitely bring it up again in like another video or something. But yeah, and that's what it was. So it was like, oh, so because this God says that, oh, you can, beat your child or whatever, then you're just gonna follow what this fucking devil is telling you to do, basically. And that's how I felt growing up. So that was love based on toxic conditions. That was not unconditional love whatsoever. Unconditional love takes the time to talk to you. It allows you to experience life. It doesn't have any judgment. It has full acceptance. And that's the thing, when you understand self-love and you have acceptance for yourself, that acceptance allows you to have acceptance for other people. So, and that's very important. That's very important for our mental. That's very important for our health. Very important for our heart, our emotions, all that. We need to have that acceptance. We need to feel accepted. And when people tell us that they love us, it's like, okay, you love me, why? Do you love me because you accept all of me, or you only just love just like parts of me, but then you really don't totally accept me fully as a whole person? Because I tend to view myself as a very whole person. I don't consider myself a half person. I don't feel like I'm missing half of myself. I don't feel that way at all. I feel complete and whole within myself. And it's like, when you're able to feel complete and whole within you, then you're able to attract other complete whole people, whether that be friendships, relationships, whatever. You will start to attract people who are also whole within themselves, and not halves, because I really don't want needy people around me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I don't want needy people around me. Like people that are extra needy. Oh, I can't deal with needy people. I'm sorry, I just can't. I really can't. I can't deal with the needy stuff. So, but hey, kudos to those of you that can, but not me. That's not for me. So, yeah. Unconditional love has self-love, it has freedom, and it's not controlling. That is another thing. People love to be controlled. And it's like, look, if you want to be controlled, make sure you are, if you're going to give up yourself or give up any part of you to a controlling person. I know some people get off on being controlled, but make sure love is involved if it's for the getting off purpose. But if it's not for that, and you're just being around this person because you feel like you have to love them because they are a family member, and this is really the big thing, is with family members. Like, we have it twisted to think that just because they're quote unquote family don't mean that we have to accept the bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have to accept that just because they're family. No, I don't. Absolutely not. Just because you family don't mean that you good. Don't mean that you're not toxic, or that you're not like a negative, kind of energy around me. Because if you are, I'm cutting you the fuck off. It doesn't matter. You're getting cut off. Because that's how much love I have for myself to not even be around that mess. And that's what we all have to do for ourselves. We all have to love ourselves so much that we don't allow the horse shit to be around us. I'm telling you, you watch how our society changes when you have more people being consciously aware of that kind of philosophy and being like, you know what, absolutely, I'm not going to sit around and deal with anybody's shit. The people that's giving the shit, that's going to make them want to correct themselves, because guess what? They only do it because they know that people will allow them to act that way. That's why they keep doing the shit. But when you have people that does not allow them to act that way because of the self-love factor, oh, best believe those people are not going to be doing that shit. Absolutely not. They will absolutely not be doing that. So yeah, so my thing is unconditional love that is based on unconditions, not based on conditions. So I'm gonna do, this is gonna be a whole series, because I cannot get into so many different categories on love based on conditions, and then love that's based on unconditions. So we're going to get more into depth with it. This is kind of like, let's say, the intro to a really big series. This is going to be part of the love series, because we need more love in this world. And the more love we can build up, the better, and the more healing can take place. There needs to be a lot of healing, especially within the black community. The black community makes fun of a lot of conscious stuff, and it's like, it comes a time where y'all gotta grow up, man. You really do. You gotta grow up too. Everybody's gotta grow the fuck up, but you gotta grow up too, because we need to stop denying that we need help and that we need healing. Okay, there needs to be a lot of self-love healing in the black community. Whether y'all believe that or not, it's the truth. It's fucking facts. Okay, so anyway.